Here, Kaguya loses consciousness. Then, Hiten, the fairies start dancing around her. Then, time rewinds. It means she goes back to the past in this scene. She actually freezes to death once. She dies. But she comes back to life. Or she's forcefully brought back to life. She doesn't only travel to the past, but she is resuscitated. There's a reason why she doesn't die. Later, Kaguya wonders if everything was a dream. Then she finds the shell that she broke on the floor. It means that everything really happened. It wasn't a dream. Kaguya is invincible. She can't be killed. People on the moon don't age nor die. There's a scene where Kaguya threatens the old man that she'll commit suicide, but she can't die. If she wishes to die, that wish is transmitted to the moon. Then the rescue comes to save her. She can't even die accidentally. That's how immortal she is. By the way, Japanese people say rabbits on the moon are pounding rice cakes. They weren't originally rice cakes. In the original story, the rabbits are making immortal medicine, but somehow the story changed in Japan to how we know it now. Therefore, the moon has been a symbol of immortality. So, Kaguya can't even kill herself. To sum up, considering how Kaguya possesses all these superpowers that allow her to bewitch people, I don't think it's true that all male characters in the movie are scum. They're under control of Kaguya's superpowers, but Kaguya herself is a victim of the powers. The message from the moon to Kaguya is, you have extraordinary powers, so don't stay on the earth, or you'll make everyone there unhappy. So, when your atonement is over, come right back. Otherwise, you'll make more people around you unhappy just by being there. So her return to the moon is pre-planned, but Takahata omitted all that and only stuck to Kaguya's point of view. And Kaguya's got such a narrowed view of the world with her egoistic mind. That way, our vision too is obscured. Just like how Grave of the Fireflies is received as an anti-war film, The Tale of Princess Kaguya is received as a film dealing with gender issues. I wouldn't say Takahata wasn't interested in implementing those issues in this film, but those are not the main themes. Okay, there were more things that I should have talked about in the first half. But I will... Wait. Maybe I will... Okay, 5 more minutes of the free part. Let me just talk about this very quickly. I'll talk faster. I don't think I will finish going over everything today. There's one amazing aspect about the tale of Princess Kaguya. As you know, the original story of the film is the tale of the bamboo cutter. What's most important is that the film changes the protagonist from the old man to Kaguya. Because originally the old man was the protagonist. The original plot is that the old man finds a baby inside a bamboo tree and raises her, but she goes back to the moon at the end. The theme was to portray the sadness and pain of the ones who are left behind. This type of story has been known as Kishu Ryuri Tan in Japanese. Simply, it's a folktale about a young hero's adventure. The main character is either a god or a hero. They are exiled from their home and go on an adventure to overcome trials or atone for the sin. At the end, they become a holy being and return home. It's a common type of myth told all over the world. If we take Star Wars as an example, Anakin Skywalker falls to the dark side and becomes Darth Vader. But Luke Skywalker resists the temptation of following his father, Anakin's path to the dark side, and becomes a hero. So Star Wars is included in this type of story. So the goal of Kaguya is to overcome the trial on the earth in order to become a good deity, atone for her sin, and go back to her world. The old man meets her accidentally, ends up loving her, and dedicates himself to her happiness. But as a result, he has a sad experience. This is the universal structure of this type of folktale. Takahata broke that convention by switching the protagonist from the old man to Kaguya, which was a big switch because while many different versions of the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter were made in the past, no one came up with such an idea. The Tale of Kaguya was Takahata's challenge to redo only yesterday, a story about a contemporary woman who's attracted to the city life she sees on TV, lives in Tokyo, but later returns to the countryside. He applies the same structure to the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter in an attempt to dynamically change it. It's also Takahata's version of Raputa. In terms of the structure, not the story. Pazu is the old man, while Shita is Kaguya. So Shita is the protagonist. Then the plot of Raputa gives you a totally different impression. A girl falls from the sky and there is an old man slash Pazu who decides to protect Kaguya slash Shita, but the nobles slash Dola family or the emperor slash Muska try to steal her. And at the end, only Shita returns to the castle in the sky. When she returns, she doesn't say anything nice. She first says something like, humans have to live on the ground. But then when the Levystone emits light, she goes, oh, I was wrong, never mind, and goes back to her castle. It sounds more realistic. On top of that, Takahata never ever empathized with the characters he created. He didn't let his characters speak his mind nor his beliefs. And as I mentioned in my past lecture about Grave of the Fireflies, he also expected the audience not to empathize with them either. That's why we should not seek themes in what the characters say. I will talk more about this in the second half. As I said earlier, Kaguya comes from the world of immortals. There, no one can die. Now, let me talk about Buddhism. Buddha started his path to enlightenment when he found out that there were 4 different types of sufferings. Suffering associated with living, aging, illness, and death. But where Kaguya comes from, these 4 types of sufferings don't exist because no one dies in that world. Coming from such a world, Kaguya perceives life as something joyful rather than suffering. But the only reason why humans have this illusion that life is a joy is because life is limited. The immortals on the moon don't have to have such an illusion because they don't die. You have to understand this major premise, or you won't properly understand the movie. Joy of life is an illusion given only to humans for whom death is an inevitable fate. Because we all die, we have to think like, screw it. How are we supposed to live every day if we don't seek joy in it? It's sinful for Kaguya in the first place to be attracted to the filthy earth. She lives and experiences the filthy life on earth and wants to go back to the moon at the end. That's her first level punishment, as the subtitle of the movie, Kaguya's Crime and Punishment, suggested. Even if she later reconsiders and wishes, oh wait, let me go back to the earth. I want to live there. It's like a drug addict temporarily quitting drugs, but starting again. People on the moon would be like, we can't deal with such nonsense. That's how the immortals see our filthy world. What filthy means is that we sometimes have to steal food or kill animals and eat them. Like how they stole melons and killed a pheasant. We live in such a filthy world and die. And because we die, we have to force ourselves to find joy in life. The immortals have a totally different worldview, where they are free from such thoughts. Then, what's going to happen to Kaguya after she goes back to the moon? Well, of course, she will probably stay immortal. But will she sing the children's song every day and cry like that lady who kept singing and crying? Actually, no. The fate that awaits her is even more dramatic. It can be hope or it can be despair.